How's everyone doing? Today I'll be doing another random horror Blu-ray shelf video because I don't have anything organized. I have all the horror Blu-rays separated right here, but they're in no particular order because I do need to get another shelf right there, and I do have a bunch of other ones kind of like everywhere mixed in, but they're all right here in this general area. And if you've seen these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them, and if you have any horror Blu-ray recommendations for me to pick up, definitely let me know. But now let's get into this. This will be Random Horror Blu-ray Shelf number 4. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done the 3 already, so if you haven't seen them, check back my videos. And let's go ahead and get into this. First up is The New Daughter with Kevin Costner. I felt like this was super underrated, and I really loved the unique take on this, basically. I haven't heard anybody really talk about this one, but I absolutely loved it, and I love the ending, too. Cube, which is a total classic, very influential on a bunch of different films. I think it influenced Saw a little bit as well. Cujo, which is, of course, a classic. This is the 25th anniversary edition. This is the best edition out there. I know this was re-released before, but it doesn't have the special features, and that's what you want here if you're a fan of the film. And you know, I'm going to do a full review for Cube because it's just an amazing movie. I feel like this one is vastly underrated. It does have a couple sequels, but this is definitely the best of the bunch. And it's essentially sci-fi horror. There's a bunch of people that wake up in this kind of cube design and have to find their way out of it. And I like the human element to it as well, which is always a big key in a lot of different movies. Next up is Devil Dog. Killer dog movies right there. Dark Skies, which I love, you know, kind of like alien abduction movies. That's the genre that freaks me out the most. There's alien abduction movies, then there's killer dolls and evil killer kids. Those freak me out the most. But this movie was amazing to me up until the ending. The ending you could see coming, and it was just cliche, and they could have done so much more with it. And it was just, it took the movie down a peg. But still, I love the movie overall. Just wanted more from that ending. The Darkest Hour, which is essentially an alien invasion movie, but it's unique. I like what they did with the alien aspect to it, and I like the cast in here as well. Emil Hirsch is a really good actor. And the guy from The Killing was excellent in here as well, as kind of like the jerk character, and great score in here. Next up is Darkness with Anna Paquin. This is another one that I feel is pretty underrated, very atmospheric and creepy. Children of the Corn 3 Urban Harvest. I really do enjoy this one. The kid was super creepy, and I love what happened at the ending. I don't want to give too much away about it, but the ending definitely makes it for me. And this is Curse of Chucky. This was the newest Chucky film, and I thought it was actually pretty decent. I liked it better than the previous 2 sequels in the franchise. The Collection, which I absolutely love, The Collector and The Collection. This was the sequel, which I was able to get signed up by a bunch of people involved with the film. This was very action-paced, and I can't wait to see what they do for the 3rd installment, which they left it open at the end for that installment. And then The Collector, which I was able to get signed up as well with a couple people involved with the film. Absolutely love this one. One of my favorite recent horror movies. And to me, this is like Saw meets Home Alone. Just super creepy and atmospheric, and so many just scenes that make you flinch, especially the scene with the cockroaches. Ugh. The Colony, which is a great sci-fi horror film. It's a post-apocalyptic film, and I love movies with a snowy setting, and the cast was fantastic. I love their interaction. Lawrence Fishburne, Bill Paxton, and Kevin Zegers right there. And of course, with any post-apocalyptic type movie, there's cannibals. Confession of a Murder. The Cell, which is just such a visually stunning movie. Jennifer Lopez, Vince Vaughn, and Vincent D'Onofrio. Very aesthetically appealing. Troll Hunter, which I can't believe they're remaking this. It's so disappointing. This is a classic. Just hilarious and just crazy when the trolls are farting in the cave. And again, the found footage aspect works well here. And I like the folklore. Mutant Girl Squad, which is just absolutely insane. Just basically what it is a bunch of girls who have mutant powers, and it's crazy and over the top. My Soul to Take, which I still haven't seen the full thing of this. I've seen parts of it on TV. Got to sit down and finally watch that one. Nazis at the Center of the Earth, which I still haven't seen. I've been kind of putting it off. But I don't know, I'll give it a fair chance. Who knows, maybe it'll surprise me. It has Jake Busey and Dominic Swain. They Nest, killer bug movie from Scream Factory. The Nesting, which from Blue Underground. I like the flashbacks here. I think they could have done a little bit more with it, but it's always amusing to me whenever they have like an agoraphobic in any kind of movie, especially horror movies, how quickly they get over it and they try to play it up, but it just doesn't work. They could have done something more with that too to kind of get the movie going, but still a decent movie. The New York Ripper. I definitely enjoy the heck out of this one. A classic Fulci film. Massage Parlor Murders. I love the cover to that. Right there. And next up we've got Midnight Meat Train, which I enjoy the heck out of this movie. I love the twist to this as well at the end. I think it definitely adds to it. And I think a lot of people don't give this one a fair chance because, I don't know, it's got kind of like a Hollywood cast going on here. You've got Leslie Bibb, you've got Bradley Cooper, and of course Vinnie Jones, who was awesome as Mahogany. And Bradley Cooper was in a few horror movies, this Midnight Meat Train and Case 39, both of which are great, and I think Case 39 is underrated too. I think people don't give that one a chance because of the cast again, Renee Zellweger and then Bradley Cooper, but really enjoy the heck out of this one. Again, the ending definitely elevates it even more. Sadeko 3D in the Ring series right there. Lenticular cover with not too much movement going on there. And this is a triple feature of Salvage, Memory, and Mortuary. Salvage is pretty low budget. Mortuary from Tobe Hooper is decent. Memory I haven't seen, has Billy Zan. I need to check that one out. And then we've got the Sands of the Kalahari with some killer baboons. I think their plane goes down. It's been a while since I've seen that one. Next up is Playback. This is one that I really enjoyed, and I think it's underrated. They really, from the trailers, push Christian Slater as the lead, which he isn't. He has a smaller role in here, but it reminds me of The Ring, as far as they get like a VHS tape and they find out some creepy stuff starts happening. But I dug it. I don't think it got great reviews, but it's one that I enjoyed and I think is underrated. Poltergeist 2. And Poltergeist 3, I do have the first Poltergeist on the Digibook, and I got this long before they released it here in the US. This is the UK version. I loved all the Poltergeist movies. The third one I think I watched the most though, because I remember seeing it on TV all the time. And then Pontypool, which is a region-free Blu-ray release, because there's no Blu-ray release here in the States for some reason. But I love this one, super underrated as well, very creepy, and kind of psychological horror as well, with like infected people, and it's done through language essentially. I love Stephen McHattie as the radio DJ, and kind of claustrophobic feel as well, because they're trapped in like the radio station, and the ending was a little weird, but it still works overall. I think very underrated. And I've talked about it many times before, but I think more people should check it out. And it says Best Zombie Film of the Year. It's not a friggin' zombie movie. Ugh. I hate when people do that. They just lump all infected movies together. And this one doesn't look anything like zombies. Zombies are the dead coming back to life. That's not the case here. Infected people are just people who turn into murderous hordes, essentially. And like 28 Days Later, for example. They were infected with the rage virus. They weren't zombies. Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. The special signed edition, signed up on the back by director Fred Olen Ray. I wish they would have the signatures on the front. I think that just looks better presentation-wise. How do you want to turn around and look at the signature on the back? You want it right there on the front cover. Next up is a double feature with Identity and Vacancy. Vacancy is one that I didn't love when I initially saw it, but it's definitely grown on me a lot now, and I definitely dig it. Identity is one that I think is underrated as well. Very creepy. I like all the twists and turns, and I love the ending. Next up is Digging Up the Marrow, which I was able to get signed up by a lot of people involved with the film. There's Adam Green, Ray Wise, and I love this one. Kind of like a faux documentary style. Everybody's playing themselves except for Ray Wise's character, and he's basically telling Adam Green that there's real life monsters, and they're hiding out underground. And, they kind of do a documentary about it. And I think it's very creative. I wanted a little bit more from the ending. But overall, I would definitely recommend checking that one out. Next up is Silent Night, Deadly Night. Classic Christmas horror movie. I was able to get this signed up by a few people involved in the film. Again, I wish everybody would have signed on the front instead of on the back. But there's Robert Brian Wilson, who played the lead right there. And there's the grandpa. That scene always gets me. You better run, boy. You better run for your life. Punish. Love that one. Just a classic. The Linnea Quigley impalement scene with the deer antlers, the sled scene. Absolutely love the heck out of that one. It's a go-to one every Christmas season. Ticks, which is so fun, and I'm so happy this got a Blu-ray release. I had an old bootleg of this for forever, and it's basically killer ticks, giant killer ticks, and I love what happens at the end with Alfonso Ribeiro. Great cast in here too. You got Seth Green, a few other recognizable people, Clint Howard, and just a cheesy, fun movie. One of the better killer insect movies out there. And here's a double feature of Mr. Sardonicus and the Brotherhood of Satan. And I love these cheap Mill Creek double feature packs like that. Although I do prefer standalone ones, but for the price point, you can't beat it. Next up is From a Whisper to a Scream, which I was able to get signed up by a few people involved with the film right there. There's Vincent Price, a great horror anthology movie. I love the Civil War kids. That's probably my favorite segment here. And it's probably one of my favorite killer kid segment parts of a movie ever. Next up, two more signed ones, both signed by John Carpenter, the legend. There is a website that was doing a giveaway for these both signed Blu-rays here. I think they had a few of them. They're trying to promote a interview they did with him, and I was lucky enough to get both. So I'm definitely very happy because John Carpenter's The Thing is my all-time favorite movie, and it looks like he used the same Sharpie. Looks like the Sharpie was getting a little dry towards the end, but awesome, all-time classic. I've talked about this so many times. Of course, everybody knows Halloween. Very influential slasher. And then John Carpenter's The Thing, very atmospheric. I love the Ennio Morricone score, Rob Bottin's practical effects, Dean Cundy's cinematography. The whole cast was great. The snowy setting, that feeling of isolation, paranoia, just everything about it is incredible to me. Tarantula, which is an import. I got this on eBay. I'm not sure where this is from, if this is Spanish or what. Looking on the back, it does look like it's Spanish language, but it is region free and it has English audio, so no issue there. Very happy to get that. I love giant killer bug movies. And here's Crystal Lake Memories, the complete history of Friday the 13th, which I still need to delve into. That's probably my favorite of the slasher genres, the big three, with Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and Friday the 13th. I just think those ones are all enjoyable. I love Nightmare on Elm Street, the series as well, and the Halloween ones, there's some stinkers in there for me. But Friday the 13th is definitely my favorite of the big three slasher franchise. Firestarter from Stephen King with a young Drew Barrymore. And of course she was cast in Cat's Eye as well from Stephen King. Great horror anthology there. Haunter, which I definitely enjoyed this one too. It's a ghost movie, haunted house movie, and you can see Stephen McHattie in here, who I think is a great actor. He was in Pontypool, and then Abigail Breslin. And we've got Hysteria, Final Exam, decent 80s slasher. The Others, which is a modern classic in my opinion, great ghost story. Otis, which I think has some great dark comedy elements to it. Really enjoy that one. He kidnaps the girl, and he's all crazy, and all kinds of hijinks ensue. And I like the relationship of everybody too. Kevin Pollak, the brother, and there's Otis right there. I consider it a horror comedy movie, and very enjoyable. Next up is Scream 4. And The Ruins, which I think is underrated as well. Very unique concept. Rare Exports, which is another great Christmas horror movie. To me, this is one that borders horror, but it has enough horror elements in there, especially all the old man balls running around, for me to consider it horror. And a great release from this as well from Oscilloscope. Razorback, this is a Australian release right there. Giant wild boar movie. Rec 3, which I know a lot of people don't like this one, but I enjoy the heck out of it. It's basically the most different, I would say, of the Rec films, because all the other ones, they're kind of trapped in this. They're kind of trapped too in the wedding area, but there's more freedom of running around. The fourth one, they're on the ship. I think the fourth one was the weakest by far, but I enjoyed this one a lot. It's bloody, it's gory, excellent. Rec 2 is my favorite by far. I was shocked. I didn't think it was going to work Rec 2 the way that it was going. It kind of twisted it a little bit, and I was like, it just worked so well. Red State, which I was able to get signed up by Kevin Smith. I'd love to see him do more horror. Tusk was crazy, kind of horror comedy. Red State was very thrilling with the cult. Michael Parks was excellent. To me, he deserved like an Oscar nomination for his role there. The Road, which is a Filipino horror movie, incredibly underrated. I never hear anybody talk about this one. I was able to get it signed up by the director, but I guess he hasn't signed a lot of stuff because he signed on the actual plastic Blu-ray case instead of the Blu-ray cover art. And then he also signed on the disc as well, right there. Which, I don't know, both of those are kind of weird. You just want to sign on the cover art, but very creepy and underrated and very atmospheric as well. Next up is The Roommate. And both those girls were stunning to me. Minka Kelly and Leighton Meester. Father's Day from Trauma, which is just so over the top and crazy and ridiculous, but very entertaining. The Fly, the original. This is the Comic-Con 2013 exclusive slipcover. Love that artwork. And then The Fly remake from David Cronenberg, one of the better remakes out there in my opinion, and a great horror remake. Jeff Goldblum was awesome. So creepy and gross in there. So there you go. There was my random horror Blu-ray shelf number 4. And if you've seen any of the movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. And if you have any horror Blu-ray recommendations for me to pick up, definitely let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed this random horror Blu-ray shelf video. And let me know if you want to see more like this as well. I could finish it off and go through the whole bookcase worth, and maybe I can do some horror DVDs as well, because I have, you know, all the rest of the collection in here. And there's all the horror DVDs. I have some on the floor. And then there's the rest of the collection on this side too. I've got stuff like all over on the floor everywhere. So look forward to more horror movie videos coming up soon. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care.